In our interview this week, the special advisor to the Vice President on MSME reviews efforts by the government to encourage the growth of small businesses in the country. Watch. Mr. Tola Johnson, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Well, let's begin with the latest on the micro, small and medium scale enterprises. There was a stakeholders clinics meeting at the presidential villa recently. Tell us about it.
Usually the meetings are to review what happened the year before and whilst looking at the plan for the year in view, basically. So at that meeting, His Excellency, sits with the stakeholders, the likes of BOI, NEXIM, DBN, FIS, SON, ITF and the other agencies, SMEDAN, and we discuss all the activities of the previous year, what the challenges were and how to face those challenges.
So when is the next one and what sort of challenges have you tried to address?
I think the greatest challenge, access to funding. Access to funding at the right tenure basically is the greatest challenge for some of the SMEs. They've not been able to access funding at the right tenure, basically for the SMEs, and also issue of overlapping responsibilities by Standard Organization of Nigeria and NAFDAC, and another one is the issue of how long it takes for SMEs, for instance, to get their NAFDAC number, basically. Last year, the CSC had actually come up with this special window scheme where there was a 50% discount for SMEs to register their business names. Within 6 months, they had registered almost triple the amount of businesses that they had registered in the past few years. So based on that, it had jumped from about 55,000 to about 160-something thousand. So because of how successful that was, we had requested His Excellency to graciously grant us another 3 months for SMEs to see how they can quickly go and register their businesses, their business names. And His Excellency has approved this, so it means that SMEs can now take advantage of this window for the next 90 days, quickly go and register their businesses. So it's an opportunity for them to formalize their businesses. About
37 million micro, small and medium enterprises are offering 59 million jobs in Nigeria. Is that correct?
Well, that's what the statistics says, and it's about right. It's about right. We have said that the SME space is the new oil. It had always been the oil, but it had always been, but we took our eyes off the ball. They now say it is the new oil. No, it had always been. Any nation in the world, basically speaking, you do not toy or joke with that space, and you can attest to the fact that this government has paid special attention to this space since 2015. If it's not doing SME clinics, it's doing trader money. If it's not doing trader money, it's doing some other scheme, for the SMEs. May I quickly add that last year the clinics had its first national MSME awards, where a brand new car was given to the first ever MSME award winner of the year. This year, His Excellency has approved another the second edition, which is going to hold on the 1st of August this year. Now there's going to be an SUV for hopefully there's going to be an SUV for whoever wins that award, and we're also going to be giving awards to
okay, please.
We're also going to be giving awards to states that supports the SME space, basically, and there are a few new categories that have been added on. These are a few other new projects, and we're expecting that the nation should be looking out for.
But just a quick reminder about the criteria.
Oh, now, to qualify to win any of the SME awards category, your business must be registered. Because, as a government, we can't be seen to be giving or promoting businesses that are not registered, and on the other hand, we are screaming and telling businesses to go and register their business.
Some people would wonder if this is something that can be manipulated, like every other thing done in Nigeria.
No. It is easy for you to qualify. You register to qualify on your own. There's an independent body that comes to verify your business, that you're actually doing a business, basically. And if you scale through to the last, the final category and the final stage, you are brought to Abuja and you slug it out and pray that you are one of those that will win, basically. So I mean, the essence of the National MSME Award is actually to just reward excellence and reward those that are trying and living by the books.
We have interventions from the Bank of Industry, we have from the Central Bank, you know, and so many other, you know, etc. How do you synchronize all of this so that, you know, it doesn't look like this is doing what this is doing? Yeah,
you see, part of the discussions during the meeting was how we can come together, either as BOI or as DBN or as CBN, to have a scheme, one special scheme that addresses that space.
What sort of issues did that bring up in the past?
Well, we're looking at issues of the tenure, for instance. How long? For instance, you cannot give an SME money in the morning today and tell him you need your money back tomorrow. You see, there must be longevity. Say, for instance, you give an SME money, I mean, well over 3, 4, 5 years, you know, in some cases 7, 8 years, basically. Then the tenure, single digit tenure. That's also very key. You know, a lot of the commercial banks, unfortunately, can provide only double digits. So that's also very key. And maybe the issue of a moratorium as well. Moratorium is how long, when I give you fund today, maybe give you some breathing space before you start paying back. You know, that's another thing. Then lastly, basically is, from the SMEs aspect, is collateral, you know, collateral. So now we're not thinking of, we're trying to be creative about what can an SME use as collateral, basically.
The Vice President recently directed relevant authorities to come up with, you know, smarter ways of boosting funding for MSMEs. You know, and then again, look at the environment they operate under. How is this really going to be connected? How is it going to be smoothing out?
Now, I'm sure you're also aware that you have the ease of doing business Secretariat.
Yes.
Now, and that is meant to create an enabling environment for SMEs. And like I said earlier on, I just told you that His Excellency had directed both SON, Standard Organization of Nigeria, and NAFDAC to harmonize some of their differences and some of their little discrepancies so that SMEs don't get to suffer. You as NAFDAC and myself as SOM, for instance, can say, okay, if you have certified this SME, I'll pass. You know, if you have certified this SME, I as NAFDAC will pass. You know, I mean, once you meet this condition for SON, then you've met my own condition as NAFDAC. Not I certify, you tell me that I as NAFDAC, the SME must go through the same thing I'd gone through with you. So we are looking at things like that, and how quickly, for instance, now, and how quickly SMEs can each, for instance, get their NAFDAC number. That thing is very, very important. You see, during the SME clinics, we realized that in every 10 SMEs that come to us to make a complaint, 5 or 4 of them have NAFDAC issues. So you see how critical it is. Now, the NAFDAC DG said an SME will receive, from the moment the SME meets their conditions, it takes about 30 working days, not 30 days, 30 working days to receive their NAFDAC number. So she had said that in some cases, the SMEs themselves do not meet certain criteria. But what we are telling them now as federal government is that, listen, let's reduce some of the harsh conditions or some of the harsh criteria you are expecting them to meet. And I believe that NAFDAC too has been looking inwards to try and review some of its policies. That
directive is separate from the directive asking for better strategies to improve funding. Did you discuss, some of that with the authorities?
Yes, it's part of some of the ongoing discussions as well.
Very quickly, what's the next level plan for MSMEs?
Now, the next level plans for MSMEs, as the clinics go around, part of the plan now is that we want to ensure that as we try to solve some of the regulatory problems, so also SMEs are able to access funding. Access to funding is one of the biggest issues, and we are bent on solving that heads on this year.
All right. Well, we must thank you very much indeed, Mr. Tola Johnson, Special Advisor to the Vice President on MSMEs. Thank you very much.
Special Assistant. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, thank you for your mails and tweets as always. Keep sending in your views and comments using the email address and Twitter handle on your screen. Also, be sure to share anything happening within your locality. Don't you forget, you can view the program on youtube.com/channelsweb/videos. Thank you for watching this week. I'm Gloria Umezike. See you again.